I'm Barry Tramel, and I say the biggest problem, the biggest concern for Oklahoma State football, kickoff coverage.
It's not good, but I'll tell you what else isn't good. Their secondary giving too much space to receivers. From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson. Barry, we saw problems exposed on Saturday as Oklahoma played Nebraska, and there were a lot of issues, but you can look on all sides of the ball and find them. You saw the most, though, on special teams.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. We've seen OSU be very poor on kickoff coverage this year. One of the problems with Dana Holgerson's offense is you're going to be kicking off a lot because his offense gets to the end zone quite a bit. You got to have a good kickoff unit. And the Cowboys don't, and it bit them big time Saturday against Nebraska. Huskers take one to the house in the first quarter, set the tone for the game. Cowboys sort of playing behind the 8 ball most of the first half. Oklahoma State has got to shore up that kickoff unit. Mike Gundy has talked about he doesn't want to use too many first-team defenders on that unit. Let me tell you, Mike, you've got to do it because 80, 90-yard plays turn the game around. That kickoff return by Nebraska certainly turned that game into the Huskers' favor most of the day.
Well, and they have a great kicker in Quinn Sharp. He has a big leg. He oftentimes puts the ball in the end zone. But then you got to go cover somebody if they decide to run it out. So that is a problem. But I tell you, the bigger issue for me on Saturday was watching that Oklahoma State secondary just giving too much space to receivers. Sometimes I think they were playing off. Sometimes I think they got, I think that the receivers created that much space. But there were times when Oklahoma State's secondary would be way behind intended receivers and, beyond first down markers or beyond the end zone where Nebraska's trying to get to. So the fact that these guys either end up playing off or are playing off the receivers that far, it's really troubling. And I mean, obviously it ended up making for a huge day for the Nebraska passing game, which Taylor Martinez isn't known for being a great passer. They needed to get more pressure to help that secondary out. It was a compounding effect, Barry, but so often you saw the Oklahoma State secondary playing soft, and it just led to big play after big play.
Well, it did, and Nebraska killed OSU with the pass. I will give the Cowboys a little bit of slack for this reason. Bill Young, after the game, basically admitted we didn't think Taylor Martinez could throw that well, could throw that accurate. I got news for Bill. I didn't either. So, I mean, I'm not going to criticize Bill Young for something I'm guilty of, too. I didn't think Taylor Martinez was that good of a passer. He proved that he was capable. He hurt the Cowboys. I think that's a correctable problem. I think quarterback recognition, a little bit of adjustment. I would have liked to have seen more in-game adjustment from the Cowboys on that. Go up, move up. If they beat you deep, they beat you deep. But the Cowboys were getting killed underneath. However, I do think that's correctable. We've now seen, 7 games of bad kickoff coverage. That's what's got me concerned. I'm not sure that's fixable.
Well, and they've shown no want to change the personnel on the kickoff coverage team. To me, that's the interesting thing. It's not like they've tried some different things and still gotten the same bad result on kickoff coverage. They've shown no want to throw other guys in there. And the frustration was showing on Saturday, not only in kickoff, but in punt return, the coverage teams. Quinn Sharp really showed some signs of frustration on Saturday, beelining to Joe DeForest at one point to basically voice the frustration that he had. They tried everything, deep on sides, kicking it short, kicking it to the boundary, and it didn't matter. The coverage teams were still struggling regardless of where he put the ball. And so they've got to figure out something. That's a huge part of the game. They do so many aspects of special teams well in Stillwater. To have this one huge blemish that just they've shown no signs of wanting to change, I think they have to do something different, Barry, or it will come back to bite them again. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.